Hey, you. Welcome to the Christian Life Coaching Podcast for Weight Loss. I'm so excited that you are here. Hey, you, and welcome to the podcast. So, today we're going to talk about evil. Yuck, right? Who wants to even go there? I know I never like to talk about it, but as a Christian teacher, I need to help you to understand that evil is going to be on your weight loss. In fact, that even as you start stepping into your weight loss journey and you find yourself desiring to do what it is that you know you shouldn't be doing, I want you to know how to spot evil, because evil acts begin with evil desires. Right? So we need to start by unpacking what is evil. Because I think that's where a lot of us don't see what we're doing or what we're thinking or what we're giving into the enticement of as evil, because we can't believe that we are evil. We're not evil. We're good people. You don't understand, Sherry. I pay for the coffee behind me and I go to church on Sundays, and that's not what this is about. Let me tell you what evil is, because it's so prevalent in our world. We have normalized it to the point where we don't even recognize it. Evil is something. It is something that means to bring you sorrow, anxiety, or misfortune. You've known that. You know that if you've listened to me for a minute, right? And then what are desires? Evil desires. Now, you know I've been on a big study talking about desires. Desires are it's a conscious impulse towards something that promises enjoyment. So that's what I'm going to be talking about, because I see this materializing in the world, and I see this attacking all of my clients, and it breaks my heart. Like, I just want them to be able to see and to discern what's going on, because blindly, we live in this world where we have disconnected God and our faith from our food. Wouldn't you agree? And we've even gone so far to disconnect him from our health. And, it's like the enemy, he's a creep, but he's not stupid. He came to kill, steal, and destroy you. And he will use food and alcohol or whatever to do this. He will entice you, with ways of reasoning, this is like a weird thing that used to happen to me. So I don't know, this might not apply to you, but he'll entice you with ways where you start to reason or normalize your weight. If you're at an unhealthy size, for me, I would normalize that and hide behind, I'm just a chubby girl, or I'm just a little fluffy, or, my husband likes me being a little bit more round. I would say these things, but I was hiding behind it. Even though I knew I wasn't healthy, I knew my choices weren't healthy, but under all of that, I couldn't stop compulsively doing what I knew I needed to stop doing. And I did this for years, and I totally embraced it. And, there was a time where it did help me emotionally. It helped me out emotionally, but it still kept me justifying my lifestyle. It was enabling me. I was enabling myself to be okay with what I knew wasn't okay. I had these constant, you might have that. I'm sure you do. What am I talking about? I coach women. You might find yourself feeling like you constantly have food desires that are stealing your focus, and they're stealing your health, and they're stealing your hope. When I think back to myself, if I were to listen to a podcast, maybe titled, I don't know what I'm going to call this, Evil Acts Begin with Evil Desires, I don't know that I would have pressed play, because back then, I don't know that I thought I had evil desires. I don't know that I believed that I had evil actions, because I wasn't overtly doing things to hurt people, right? But back then, it's because I didn't know what evil was. I didn't know how it was a subtle weapon formed against me. The desires within me were influenced by evil. which is normalized in our culture. And constant eating and only eating what tasted amazing despite knowing that it wasn't good for me is how I lived under the influence of evil. I mean, I had my health and weight loss, really. Like, I had health in one box and weight loss in a different box. That's how I lived. I didn't know that my weight was a reflection of my health. I didn't know that weight loss was a byproduct of my health being restored. So looking back, yeah, evil was completely lurking. Like, when I constantly cheated and was craving what I knew was going to take my health and bring me sorrow and bring me the misfortune of losing my health, that was evil. And my evil acts, me giving into the puppetry of evil, began with my evil desires. And I know that that's hard to hear, but all of this came as I was reading Psalm 141:4. And Psalm 141:4 says, "Don't let me drift toward evil or take part in acts of wickedness. Don't let me share in the delicacies of those who do wrong." What I want to just impress upon your heart is that this doesn't mean that you are an evil person out there plotting all of these horrible things on people. That's not at all what we're talking about. I'm trying to pull back the curtain so that you can see that the role that evil is having on you, how it's wreaking havoc on your thoughts, how it's causing you to feel a certain way, and how it's causing you to spiral out of control and lose your health. So I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and then I'm going to tell you about, we're going to talk a little bit more about the root cause of doing what is wrong. I'll be right back after this commercial break. Hey, so maybe you haven't heard yet about the personal journey, the Seeker's Method, the personal journey. Your weight loss transformation is on the other side of you deciding to walk in your spirit of power. If you want to learn how to be spirit-led and how to become a believing believer who is transformed through the word of God, who appropriates her faith, who has radical faith, and she trusts God, and she just is able to renew her mind and stop conforming to the patterns of the world. If you're ready for that kind of transformation, then I encourage you, get in the Seeker's Method, the personal journey, or follow me on social media, or go to my website, sherrycapella.com, and find out more about the next time I'm opening the enrollment for the Seeker's Method. All of the information that I just referred to can be found in today's show notes. Now back to the podcast. Okay, so when you desire what you know only hurts you, I encourage you to start seeing it for what it is. It's unhealthy. Desiring what is wrong is the root cause of doing what is wrong. And this doesn't make you a bad person, or it doesn't make you wrong in any way like what I'm saying here. But now it's time for you to just walk in the wisdom of understanding that there's an agenda called evil that is against you. So it's time to rise above that. And I want to read you Psalm 41:4 again. This time I'm going to read it from the Passion Translation. I saw that, and I don't always go to this translation, but it's so poetic and perfect here. So listen, it says, "Guide me away from temptation and doing evil. Save me from sinful habits and from keeping company with those who are experts in evil. Help me to not share in their sin in any way." I just love that, because that speaks to exactly what's going on. When you know what you should do and you don't do it, that's how you're partaking in the bait of Satan. That's how you are living alive to the power of sin, that when you were born again, you died to. I mean, you can go and read that in Romans 6:11, right? You are dead to the power of sin. So that means that you must consciously start living dead to that power. Identify what is sin on your weight loss journey. Is it sin to eat pizza? No. Is it sin to constantly overeat and become gluttonous? I mean, when you know what you should do and you don't do it, that is sin to you. So you have to answer that question. Is alcohol a sin? It's not. Being a drunkard is a sin. Becoming an alcoholic. These are things that, like, it's the overindulgence. It's the perpetually not seeing that you are free right now, that I'm trying to illuminate your eyes to see. So ask God to show you what needs to go in your life. What are you actively taking part in that is simply not right, and you know it? What are you doing that does not honor God? Are you honoring Him with your body? What are you consciously allowing that keeps taking your hope, that keeps taking your health? Okay, so I want to leave you with this. It just simply is not enough to ask God to keep you away from temptation, to make you stronger, or to change your circumstances. You must ask Him to change you on the inside at the level of your desires, even and weight loss.